Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouse.boone.com, and today I'm just going to take you along on our day. I've already made breakfast, so we just have a few English muffins left over. I feel like you guys have seen me make English muffins enough times, it's boring. We just had eggs and English muffins, and then I got ready for the day because we have so much going on today. What I planned to share was us working on our bathroom. We've been working on it kind of behind the scenes. I haven't really been taking you along with it, but I want to show you today the vanity because it is actually finally almost done. We had marble cut, it's a whole story. So I'll be sharing with you that later in the day. I'm going to show you our fencing and how that's going. We finally have the entryway gate up, all of the fencing by the road. It's turning out so pretty. I love it. I'm going to be baking sourdough bread, making lunch and dinner. We're gonna hopefully get some work done on the bathroom so we can complete the whole project this week. That's my plan, more on that later. And then what we're doing this morning is what is unexpected. So 3 days ago on Saturday, I have a MLS realtor search going on for potential rental houses. We've been keeping our eye out for a while, and the market is so madness that nothing pops up that would really make sense as far as the rate of return on the investment and the rental price. But something popped up, it just was listed. We went there the next morning, put an offer on it, and surprisingly our offer was accepted because I feel like in this market, the price we got it for is really good. Now, we're going to the inspection this morning, so maybe there's some hidden things that make it to where it should be that cheap. Honestly, if something is that cheap, my skepticism bells are definitely going off, so it's probably, who knows. All right, I for some reason thought both were up, but just the one half is up. So it will be, oops, this, and then the other one obviously will be the exact same. It's the same color as the fencing, which I'll show you here shortly.
Because he added a board, is that right?
Yeah, he did. I thought he was just gonna slap it on the back because I wasn't sure how he was gonna get it, but he obviously figured out how to lay it in. And then it has the steel frame, so hopefully it'll last longer. Does that make it, I guess that makes it lighter. I really don't know. I obviously can't feel how heavy it is.
I mean, it's heavy. It's still pretty heavy.
It's heavy, but it probably, I don't know, like I feel like it would be even heavier if it was this thick, all wood.
Probably so.
Looks great. I want to put two up and then put a wreath in the middle, but then it wouldn't open, so I can't. Well, maybe I could. It'll just be attached to one side.
Yeah.
I just imagine like a wreath and then our barn behind it.
Yeah.
Cute. All right, and here's the fencing by the road. It's like a cedar color. It's not actually cedar, it's just stained. And then we have just regular farm fencing up around the house, but we wanted this nicer look going up the road that's very visible to everybody else. We love it. We think it looks really pretty. We put the wire behind it. So this way, honestly, mostly just for kids, because we probably would just have a cow and calf in this pasture, which wouldn't escape the board fencing, but I want to be able to not worry about kids climbing. Obviously older kids, it's fine, but mostly just worried about toddlers escaping. Obviously we watch our kids, but you know, 2-year-olds can run away, and I want time to catch them before they get to the road, so yay. All right, we got back from the inspection. I am getting some sourdough bread going in the oven that I started yesterday to just do an easy lunch. I think I'm gonna just do some grilled cheeses because we got back late and it's already time for lunch and nap. So as far as the inspection, the foundation issues are a lot worse than we were originally thinking. We of course looked at the house, we looked at the foundation, but it seems that it could be way more extensive than we thought. And so we just don't know. We need to run the numbers. We need to get a foundation expert out to look at it and see, does this still make sense as an investment, or is this just gonna be a money pit? So we're still deciding. So I'll let you know, and I'll take you along if that is something we do. We still would like to expand into getting some kind of rental property, whether it would be a long-term rental or an Airbnb. We're still not sure. We have our eye out for one, but this may or may not be the one. I don't know, we'll see. I think I'm gonna go out to the garden and cut some flowers because I noticed that my roses are blooming and a few others, and I'm gonna create a little arrangement for the table while the bread is baking. It's a bit dark in here, but we're gonna talk a bit about the bathroom renovation that's going on and the sink. So first of all, I'm gonna show you this vanity here and explain the idea behind it and the story of how it got to be where it is right now. I got this idea from my friend Sarah over at She Holds Dearly. She actually does have a YouTube channel where she shares tons of design tips. So if you're interested in hearing like different decor styles and design tips and all of that, she has you covered. But she did this in her house and I actually got to see it in real life and I loved it. But she turned an antique dresser with a marble top into a vanity and I loved the idea. I came across this piece probably, well, several months ago at this point, and I definitely learned a few things through this process that I didn't know before. One is that if you're looking to do this type of project, get a dresser that is deeper, depth-wise, so like from the wall out, than what I have here. I'll explain more of that in a second. That's actually probably my main tip. I thought that I had pretty much the exact same type of dresser that Sarah had, but when I encountered the issues with the depth, I realized, looking back, that she actually has a dresser that the top comes out further, and so just visually, like looking at it, I didn't actually ever take measurements of hers or anything like that. I can see now that she has more space to work with for a sink. So what I have here at the widest point of the marble, 19 inches. So for a standard sink, and if you're going to want to get a marble company to actually cut this for you, they aren't going to be able to do it because they're going to tell you that it will break if they would put a standard size sink in it. So I ended up having to go back and order a smaller sink, which I wasn't sure how we would like that, but after getting this far into the project of already going really far to find the person who would cut the marble, finding the piece, bringing the marble there, I was just determined that we were gonna make this piece work. But if you have just a few extra inches to work with, you can get a standard sink. And even still, when they went to cut this marble, I had to sign a waiver saying that if it broke, I would still pay for them to cut it. So they weren't even sure with the sink that I ended up getting, which wasn't overly small. I believe that, yes, the part of the sink, undermount sink, that'll be exposed is 11 inches. So that's, I believe standard is somewhere around 12 to 14. I think maybe 14. So it is smaller, but it's not, it doesn't look horribly smaller. But even still, one of the guys pretty much told me he wasn't even sure he wanted to cut it because he thought he might break it with this size of sinks. This is like this was the biggest sink I could get. They even suggested that I do a vessel sink But I had my heart so set on the look of this undermount sink that would flow really seamlessly with the marble and the certain faucet that I found. If I would have done the vessel sink, I would have had to get an all new faucet. I just didn't want to go that route. I already had my mind set on what I wanted here. I did see a really beautiful photo, and I will overlay it here if I can find it again. I think I saved it from Instagram account at Victorian by the Bay. And honestly, if I'd seen this photo before, I might have considered the vessel sink because I really love how hers turned out. So this is just giving you ideas in case you encounter this. I am happy with the way that we went because it did all work out. They did not break the marble. They shined it up for me. It's cut and ready to be installed and plumbed. And I think it's gonna look really beautiful, but just be aware of these issues before you do it. It also, FYI, is difficult to find a marble company that will cut it for you. I called probably 4 before I found one that would do it. Most only work with their own marble. They don't work on antique pieces. And it wasn't horribly expensive for what I expected. So it cost $250 to have it cut, which isn't great, but at the same time, I also felt like we weren't going to be able to do this by ourselves and get it perfect. They actually got it perfect and they shined it up for me and it looks like a brand new piece of marble, but yet it fits this piece perfectly. And I think it'll make a really nice vanity. Now we do have to modify this still to where the plumbing can go through it. And we need to make it to where this is just kind of a false front and not actually a drawer. And then the sink, of course, is gonna get mounted directly underneath. It won't be down like this, but I was just trying to get a visual after having it cut of how it looked. For this bathroom renovation, hopefully we'll be doing a reveal in like 3 or 4 weeks. We're doing a beadboard wainscoting, I guess you would call it, a chair rail. This vanity, we're adding a clawfoot tub here. We're sectioning off half of this closet to where it'll just open at the top so that you can access tub stuff, but there'll be like a cabinet door since the clawfoot would be blocking this whole door. It's actually an idea from a contractor and I loved it. After he said it, I actually remembered a photo from Thorn Cove Abode over on Instagram. And he was the one who came up with the idea of putting the cabinet door above the clawfoot instead of having this closet door that you couldn't open or maybe putting a curtain there. He thought of it and then I remembered the photo and pulled it up and then I was all excited about doing this because it is perfect and she already did it. So there's like a visual there. So I will overlay that photo as well that you can see what it will look like to have a cabinet door above a clawfoot where there once was a closet. Now we do have to sacrifice the bottom half of the closet, but it's in exchange for a bathtub down here, which this is another thing. We are moving the whole house around. And so Luke and I are actually going to be living, or we're going to be having our bedroom in the living room. The living room is going to the dining room. That way we can acquire another kid's bedroom since we need a kid's bedroom more than we need a dining room. And so we need a bathroom with a tub on this main level. So it was a trade we were really happy to make because there are no bathtubs down here. And that'll be like our bathroom whenever we do all this swapperoo. So those are all the things we need to do. We trimmed out this window. I went and found some trim at an antique shop. It's just from a salvage. It was taken out of an old house, as well as the rosettes. So we'll be painting this. There'll be a little windowsill with a clawfoot below it, the cabinet behind the clawfoot, the beadboard, the chair rail. I'm gonna paint, I believe, I'm thinking a green, and then the upper part will be just, I'm thinking white. We already have the marble floors. We framed out the door where it wasn't before. There was no trim there, or at least there was some thin trim that didn't match the rest of the house. So now it'll all just be more fitting. Even though this bathroom was an addition, it wasn't built in the late 1800s like the house, I want it to feel like it was. And so that was my whole goal with this renovation. The tub will go where this vanity is sitting now, and the vanity will go here where this mirror is and where you can obviously see the plumbing. And I bought a couple of lights on Etsy that are antique inspired They will be moved to either side of the mirror as opposed to the one fixture kind of where the mirror is currently going to be going. We're gonna work on some things today so that when the plumber comes Thursday to plumb in the sink and the bathtub, we are ready for him, and then we can continue on with just the finishing touches and the fun stuff. All right, I have a couple other components for the bathroom coming up here. I got, this is the faucet we'll be using. We pulled the bathtub out of the original garden cottage, so that will be refinished and put in the house. We can save that. And then the sconces here, these I ordered off Etsy, and they just are made to look antique. I went this route because I didn't really have the time to source the perfect antique light. We really just want our bathroom like done. So I searched antique inspired light or something along those lines, and this came up and I thought it was really cute, and so I ordered 2 of those. Going to be centered on this essentially, so like $33.25, actually 33 and one line after that. I got this pencil actually, it's carpenter one. This is what's cool about these kind of tape measures. You just fold them in half instead of doing math. Cool, huh?
That is cool.
Don't act like you're not impressed. All right, so 16.5.
Right.
And you're gonna come out 1 inch.
That's your center of the...
Yes, I'll remeasure to make sure. I think that's it. Now, of course, without having it all installed, it's kind of hard to tell if that's perfectly right. Daniel, is that good? All right, I'm carrying this vlog into a second day because we didn't get a ton of work done on our bathroom yesterday, and the plumber comes tomorrow, so we have to be ready for him. So I'm just gonna take you along as we work on the bathroom a bit more today, and then you'll just have to stay tuned for the full reveal coming soon. Same dress, different day.